Could someone take an exam pretending to be your child? Sounds crazy, but that's exactly why the New South Wales Department of Education now requires online photo ID for the OC and Selective High School exam. Over the years, these exams have become far more competitive than many parents may realize. What used to feel like a small school-based test is now a centralized exam set by tens of thousands of students every single year, all competing for a limited number of spots. With stakes this high, the department has had to tighten how exams are run, and online photo identification is one of the most notable changes recently. My name is John, and I'm the founder of Bing's Academy, and today I'm joined by Yoshi. So why is photo ID even necessary? Surely no one would try to impersonate another student. Surprisingly, impersonation isn't just a theoretical risk. If we look back in 2015, the University of Sydney warned a rising issue with substitution in exams where students found ways to have someone else sit exams on their behalf. I want to be clear that I haven't seen any confirmed reports of this happening in OC or selective exams, but my 10 years of teaching, having gone through the selective school process and system myself, I've certainly heard stories and jokes about older siblings taking exams or thinking about taking exams for their younger ones. No one has actually done it from my experience, but the fact the possibility exists is enough for the department to be cautious to ensure that the integrity of the exam is maintained at a high level. When I took my selective exam, students were grouped in terms of which primary school that they attended. For example, I would be with other students from Marion Public School, which was the primary school that I went to. Anyone out of place would stand out immediately, especially because we all wore school uniforms. Now, exams are held in major test centers rather than local schools, which removes the natural safeguard and makes it harder to recognize who doesn't belong, as there's so many more students at each test center. Online photo verification helps address that gap, and it ensures that the student sitting the exam is actually the one registered. It's also important to understand how the scale of the exam has changed. What was once a handful of students sitting in their local school is now a pretty centralized process with hundreds or even thousands of students at a single venue. Large venues remove the natural peer checking that has happened in smaller groups in the past. So the department has to find a way to prevent impersonation or substitution of the actual student taking the test. Even a few confident students attempting the test a second time around for a younger sibling could theoretically affect the results and make the whole system in disarray. While this is very unlikely, high-stake exams with limited options mean even small risks need to be managed. The online photo ID works like this. Before the exam, students submit a photo online. This photo is pre-verified against the student's identity. A contracted provider supplies the necessary devices and technical support to make sure the verification process runs smoothly. Once submitted, photos are used to pre-verify the student, and post-exam verification occurs until placement decisions are final. To protect privacy, all photos are destroyed once placements are confirmed, and on exam day, students still receive a test admission ticket, and invigilators can manually confirm the student's identity on the exam day too. Together, the online verification and the manual check ensures that the student sitting the exam is actually the registered candidate, reducing the risk of mistakes or impersonation. To make this a little bit more relatable, when I sat my exam, students from the same primary school were grouped together. Because I knew that other students, anyone out of place would have been very obvious. But in modern test centers with students from multiple different schools, that natural check just isn't there. Uniforms help, but they're not enough on their own. The combination of taking online photo ID and test admission tickets helps ensure the right student is actually taking the test. Some parents may actually wonder how common cheating is really. While there's no public data that's provided by the department on impersonation for OC or selective exams or even malpractice, other high-stake exams can give us a little bit more context. In 2024, over 1,000 students breached exam conditions during the high school certificate, which is arguably the most important exam all New South Wales students have to take in Year 12 to get into university. This was 1,000 149 students across 297 schools. Those are Year 12 students, obviously much older and more mature, but it demonstrates that if students are taking exams that are quite high stakes, students may be looking for any competitive edge where possible. By implementing photo ID, the department is taking preventative steps before such risks could appear in primary school exams. For parents and students, the takeaway is quite simple. There's no reason to stress. Photo ID doesn't change how students prepare or make the exam harder. It simply ensures that the results reflect genuine performance and that the correct student is actually taking the test. Focus on preparation and confidence, and that will ultimately is what's going to matter. On a related note, if you're a Year 6 student preparing for the selective entry in 2026, we're running a free 10-week program called the Selective 2026 Horizon Program, starting the 6th of February and running until the 11th of April. Each week, students complete practice exams, receive scores immediately, and see weekly rankings. The program is designed for serious students committed for Year 7 entry, with optional extras like detailed writing feedback, which is also available but not necessarily required. Spots are very limited, so it's important to commit to the full 10 weeks if you sign up. But more details in the description below. You can check it out on our website. In summary, online photo ID for OC and Selective protects the integrity of the entire process. It prevents impersonation, ensures fair results, and gives parents and students confidence that outcomes are genuine. There's no need to stress about the extra steps. Focus on preparation, build confidence, and approach the exam knowing that these measures exist to keep the process quite fair. As exams continue to grow in scale and competition increases, changes like this are inevitable and, in my opinion, actually makes the test a little bit more reliable and more fair. If you like this video, please let me know in the comments down below. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing the addition of Yoshi in this video. A bit of a change of pace as opposed to just looking at me the entire time. And if I missed out on anything, put it down in the comments. Thank you guys. Take care.